it starting up?
Yeah.
All right, we're back. This is part 2 now, and it seems we didn't share this on the Permanent Makeup by Kelly page. It's on my personal page, but I'm going to transfer it later, just so everyone can see it there. So, Joni was wondering...
What did you do in your 10-minute break?
What did you do in your 10-minute break?
Tell us all. Tell us. What did you do, Milan? He had a muffin.
He had a muffin.
But he only ate the top.
We had some really good muffins
I
from
tried
Lucas.
to eat some grapes, but they were artificial. So I'm now having coffee. Okay, here we go. This is exciting. Let's go.
So she should be good and numb by now. What I'm going to do next is the pre-draw. So I'm going to remove all of this here. I don't use the strings and all that fancy stuff that some people use. I've been doing it for a long time. I like to eyeball it. Also, your bone structure is always different on one side of the face, so it doesn't always look correct to make them symmetrical. I kind of eyeball that, what looks right. How do I determine how wide to go or how long to go? I kind of look at the facial features and I like to balance it out with the facial features. I love this little pencil here by Tina Davies. It's a really nice, thin, skinny pencil. So I'm just gonna make a few marks for myself here. Make sure this tip is nice and fine for myself. So kind of mark the middle here. Make sure she's dry. And these are waxy, so I can tattoo right over them. After I fill them in and I'm done with this pre-draw, I'll actually let her sit up and take a look, make sure everything looks okay to her before I start. This way she gets what she wants. This is kind of how I know. Oh, yeah. Just to keep things even. And then I put a little mark where the arch should approximately be. Now, there's a way to double check to make sure the arch is even, and I'll kind of share with everyone how I do so. Here's my middle point here. I'll actually put a little dot of pigment right there. I'm gonna take this gauze pad and make sure the height is pretty even where I create the next one. So over here is where I think the other side should be. So I'll take this stick right here. I'll line it up with that dot, move it over. I just got the pigment on there. Can you see that? Then I'll go on the other side and I'll see, can you turn your head a little bit? Pretty much lines up exactly. So now I know that her peaks are even. And you can take Soft Tap, makes little handles that have a ruler on it. You can use a caliber. You can use these sterile sticks, Q-tips. I like to use these to get my topical out for clients to keep everything nice and sanitary. But this is another tool you can use just to make sure things are nice and even. All right, now I'm gonna draw them in for her. And Soft Tap, by the way, my first class was in 1998, so I'm really comfortable with their handles. That's what I use most. And they've been around since 1988. They're based out of California. And everyone should know that no one's ever had an allergic reaction to any of their pigments. So it's a safe way to go. I like Soft Tap. I'm loving Permablend. What else is out there that I'm using for lips? World Famous. So I'm just creating my template here. She has a beautiful shape. She just has some sparse areas, so we're gonna fill them in throughout. And I'm going to follow her natural hair pattern. Let me just move her this way. Can you see where you're at, Milan?
Yeah.
All right.
Connie Cook says hello.
Hello, Connie. I think a lot of my clients are on my personal Facebook page as well, so that's good. And we'll share everything later. So I'm using today a soft tap 16 blade, a 6 fine, and a 6 regular. And that 6 fine, we're gonna get that in the top here and make little tiny thin baby strokes, which you'll see. Looks so pretty and natural. I love the soft tap 6 fine. So I'm not going to follow exactly what's here. This is just my template. You'll see when I start actually tattooing the strokes in there what it looks like. All right, that's one side for her. Probably fill it in a little bit down here too. Just gonna sharpen my pencil a little bit. We'll get the other side in. Paulina, you do have a mirror down in your left there, so you can take a look in a minute. And feel free to sit up if that helps. Especially with the more mature clientele, I'll have them sit up because your face is a lot different when you're laying down. Sometimes one brow will fall down a little bit when you stand.
Especially with the more mature.
The more mature.
I see. Very well put.
I've learned from you, Joni.
I've learned from you, Kelly.
Sometimes people will have a mole here in the eyebrow area. I do suggest getting that removed before having the tattoo done.
Teresa Nall says beautiful.
Thank you, Teresa. Wait till we see that end result with the
So
3
when
different
you
needles.
say the mole in the eyebrow area, that would be also on the lid of the eye, correct? The mole should be
Yes.
removed. Are you
I
saying
would
that?
have, yeah, I would have those things always removed first. Some people opt
Good.
not to, but then it stands out more if you don't.
Yes. I think that's a real good tip for people when they're getting ready to have their eyebrows done.
You don't want to wax or tweeze 2 days
Uh-huh.
prior. You don't want to be all tan or have a burn or anything like that going on.
Okay.
Avoiding things that thin out your blood is also a good idea.
What kind of things would that be?
Different vitamins, flaxseed, omega-3s, omegas. I have a list for everyone of
Okay.
pre and post instructions for them to take with. So it's a reminder
Okay.
to get the best results, what to avoid, and how to prepare. Let me take a look from you from above. Look at you from above here. Now she may want them a little wider in the front or a little longer, so I'm gonna give her the opportunity to tell me what she prefers. All right, go ahead and take a look at those, Paulina.
Oh man, I'm so excited.
Are you?
Tell me what you think.
Take that off you.
Yeah. Let's see.
Take a look at
Yeah.
the front, Milan.
Exciting. Exciting. It's really exciting.
Yeah.
And we're not even there yet.
Okay.
Yeah, tell me what you see. This one might need to go just
A little
tad
bit
longer, right?
longer,
You're
right?
Seeing that? Okay. And on the front, do you like them to be curved more, or do you like them to go straight
A little
upwards?
bit more straight.
You like the straight
Mhm.
look? Okay. So that's preference. You can change that to however you like it, so everyone gets a custom eyebrow. Basically, I follow the brow bone too, to get the most natural look possible. So we'll be doing some straight hair strokes here in the front for her. And I want to be careful.
When you say straight, is that as opposed to arched?
As opposed to slanted,
Slanted. Okay.
yeah, as if the hair was going straight upwards in the front.
Okay.
So So it'll give you more of like an exotic, sharper look rather than a softer look.
Okay. And that's all the client's preference.
It's preference,
That's
right?
all, yeah. There's no right or wrong there.
Well, our client today is very special. She knows what she wants.
She does.
Most
I want to
people
get a
don't.
hold of her eyes next for sure. I was
Yes.
telling her that
The
earlier.
eyeliner.
Yeah, do a nice lash line enhancement for you. Maybe we'll have to do another video.
There
with
you
the
go.
eyeliner. Okay,
All right.
so I'm gonna change my gloves and then I'll start putting the color into the area. I'll show everyone first what I'm using. So these are the soft tap needles that I'll click in.
Oh,
I'm
Jessie
doing-
says hi, Kelly.
Oh, hi. This is the 16, which is the more of the medium gauged. Then we have the 6 regular. It's a wider gauge needle, so that's going to make nice little dark strokes for us in the front. Here in our face, we have muscle going from here to here, and when we get to this point, we don't anymore, and sometimes it's hard for those strokes to stay and show, so we might be doing a combination of strokes and a little bit of shading in there for them to be fuller. And then I have the 6 fine right here, which makes tiny little baby strokes. You'll see soon. So I'm gonna get all of those together. Click them all. Put some of this stuff away here. Oh, and what I'm using for wiping, it's called Microtonic by Membrane. And we have that bottle right here. So everything that I'm using, it's cruelty-free, all natural. It really keeps the skin calm. I also sell this product, so clients love it. They're more comfortable with it.
Maybe we need to take a closer look at it there.
Yeah, you can go on the shelf over there, Milan. You can get a close look of the products. I use the Aftercare Balm, which has a breathable barrier.
And they all can purchase them here from you, right?
Yes. Other artists can purchase them through me.
Mm-hmm.
So her balm is lovely because it doesn't suffocate the skin. And she makes an eye aid now that has cucumber in it, so it's
Ooh.
calming or cooling.
Oh, that sounds really, really helpful.
Sounds so natural.
Mm-hmm.
She put a lot of thought into her products, so they're wonderful. All right. So, let's see if you're sitting. Yeah, this is great. Okay. Just gonna lift you for 1 second. Okay, perfect. So I have my cup of color. We did add some chocolate truffle, a little bit of depth, by the way. And we can always make them darker if she wants when she comes back. But we'll start off more conservative. It's always easier to add. And a lot of my clients in this area seem to be very conservative, so I want everyone to know that I'm cautious and I start off lighter. And we add a little more when you come back about 6 weeks later.
I think if there's, just knowing a little bit about this business of yours, the question people always ask is, what if it's too dark? What if and you don't do that because they can come back in 6 weeks
Yes,
and
exactly.
make it darker. You go the safety way,
Good
the best
point.
way.
Yes, I always do.
It's really a great point because
'Cause once
that's what people are most frightened about, that they're going to be too dark.
Yes. So true. So I dip my needles into this cup of pigment here. I just get a little bit on there. That's my 16 blade. And I'm gonna take it. Do you wanna stand on the other side, Milan, or is that a good side? Can you
Yeah.
come around?
Oh, come around.
So we get our 3-way stretch here. I'm gonna make sure I have a little puddle of pigment there for her. And I push and drag, lift off really quick so we get that nice, crisp end, just like a hair stroke. So I'm using 3 different needles today. I'm gonna start with these. I'm leaving enough space in between to put in my baby hairs and the fine hairs. Are you doing okay?
I'm okay. I don't feel, I mean, it doesn't, it's definitely numbed up.
Okay, good. Sometimes under here can be the most pinchy area, but I will reapply topical anesthetics in between when I go back and forth for you.
Someone goes, they're going to be so beautiful.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm so excited.
who was that?
Desire?
Oh,
Desiree.
Desiree.
Or Desiree.
Desiree,
Sorry.
yes. I
I'm
remember.
sure she likes that name too.
I was just gonna say, she probably loves that.
Desiree's eyebrows turned out gorgeous.
They sure did.
Can you hear that in here?
It's okay, it's fine. Here, I'll turn her head a little bit. And this is where the skin gets a lot thinner, so I'm gonna be really cautious. There isn't any muscle here. Just do some really more light-handed strokes right here. Then, just gonna do a couple with the 16 because I wanna get those little baby ones in there on the top. Can you hear that sound, Milan, from here?
Oh, the needle?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's my first round with the 16. So now we're gonna put some Minerva on the area. Just make sure she stays numb here. And I'm gonna leave it fully saturated with the pigment so a little extra can seep in there while I'm working on the other side. Kind of move this way, Milan, see if we can see like that. In the end, I'll do a little straight one in the front, but I'm gonna start off like this, the same thing I did on the other side, so. Just really good skin for this. Curve them a little bit more as I go towards the arch here. It's like her natural hair. And then I'll talk about the aftercare a little bit. I change it up depending on the skin type. If you're really more on the oily side, I will suggest a dry heal. If you're in between or on the dry side, I'll have you use some of that Microbalm. You'll cleanse these morning and evening, the first 2 days at least, with some tepid water. We suggest anything non-comedogenic or baby shampoo, antibacterial dial, anything like that. And that's the only time you're getting them wet. And there's just a little tiny bit of bleeding, which is normal. Sometimes you get a little bit, but my topicals have epinephrine in it, so that helps control it some. The biggest thing is to avoid the direct sunlight. It's a great time of year to do this.
Perfect, right?
Swimming, no saunas, no salt caves I had to add to my list because that's a big thing by us now.
Salt caves, yeah.
And then get a couple up here, just like the other side. Some people use magnifiers or headlamps. I do like the headlamps. Magnifiers, that kind of distorts my vision a little bit. I'm not ready for that yet. Down a little bit so we can see better. And it's normal for it to look this messy, by the way. I'll let everything saturate here. Okay, while this one is sitting with some topical, I'm gonna wipe down the other one so everyone can see what it's looking like so far. All right, I'm actually gonna do one more round with the 16. And go over those strokes one more time. And I think all right, Milan, we're gonna do one more break in between while I keep going back and forth here on her. And we're gonna start it back up in about 10 minutes when I start with the little baby hair strokes so everyone can see, okay?
Okay.
All right.